I was always told that when you get older, the time flies by. But I find that can't be really the case. Last 2 weeks were just seeming chock full of information and things going on, whether in presidential politics, whether in the church with the Congress, or whether 2 weeks ago we had the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. And as I thought about that, I thought, what would the world look like if that had succeeded? And that'll be something armchair historians will discuss for hundreds of years. But the one thing I can guarantee is that it wouldn't be good. There would be a lot more division, a lot more anger. And I thought, one person who's only 20 years old, who worked in a nursing home, could have this effect on the world. But then I thought, dial it back to 1914 when some lone gunmen murdered the Archduke Ferdinand and his wife in Sarajevo, starting off World War I, which led to World War II, which led to the Cold War, which led to where we are here today. All this changed from one man with a gun and some bullets. And as I thought how much one person could wreck the world, how much could one person save the world, change it? St. Catherine of Siena said, if we are who we are called to be, we can change the world. And as I reflected on the lives of the saints that we have, not many of them are royal or powerful, and not many of them are intellectual. They're just normal people who God chooses to do extraordinary things, who works powerfully through them and changes the world. Look at the more recent saints. Saint Teresa of Lisieux, a young girl who dies at 24 in the convent in France. And yet her only book, her only writing, which is the story of a soul, has millions of copies, and people refer to it and changes the world. I think of John Paul II and his upbringing. Nothing really there to point him out like there was a bright shining sun on him that he would eventually be the Pope and one of the greatest popes the church has seen. But yet God worked in and through him. And indeed, God works in and through all of us. And that's why when I look at this gospel passage, I ask myself, who is the hero of this story? I mean, it certainly ain't the apostles who said, you gotta be kidding, Jesus. Where are we supposed to get enough food to feed 5,000 people? And he says that, and believe it or not, I don't think it's Jesus either, because he just takes what was given to him and multiplies it. No, for me, the hero of this story is the boy who has 5 barley loaves and a few fish. A kid who doesn't even have a name. A kid who doesn't have legal standing in the Roman Empire. A kid who has barley loaves, which is second-class loaves, like grade B in the loaves. And they're usually kind of small. They're not like this great big loaf that could be meaty. No, small things. And 2 fish. And God takes what this boy gives, multiplies it, feeds 5,000 with 12 wicker baskets left over. Overflowing generosity. The child gave what he could, and that's what changed the world. For all of us here, when we bring up the gifts, yes, they're bringing up cash, bread, and wine, and also the water, but they're more symbolic of everything we have and are. We're supposed to offer ourselves up to Christ. All our trials and tribulations, all our successes and failures, everything we struggle against, everything we succeed, everything is brought to this table to be offered up to the Lord so that we can offer ourselves, so that he can bless them, multiply them just like he multiplied the loaves and the fish, so that we can go forth from this table to change the world. Indeed, we have that in our power. This kid changed the world with 5 loaves and 2 fish. And we can always psych ourselves out and say, well, I'm not rich enough, I'm too poor, I'm not smart enough, I'm too smart. And give ourselves every excuse in the world to not do that, to not go forth. But if we recall what this child did, we know that we have it within our power. We have it within our power to be assassins as well. We, with our word, our mouths being and words being our bullets, we can go and assassinate a person's character. We can throw a bomb into the community and cause strife and division. We can cut down a person's good mood with a caustic comment. There's a million and one ways we can use the gifts we have for evil and tear the church and the world down. But as Christians, as followers of Christ, we are called to do the exact opposite, to build up the world, to build up by words and deeds the body of Christ, to give out a helping hand, a helping word, a supportive word, so that we might follow Christ ever more closely, so that we can fulfill what he would like us to do. So like St. Catherine said, we can go forth from this, be who we are called to be, so that we, through Christ's help, can change the world.